We're live here. Welcome everyone to Consultants on a Call, Getting Coffee. I know at least one of us actually has coffee today. I think Mike has coffee. I've got my pre-workout. Oh, Jeff also has coffee, and Kayla, who's going to be joining us possibly on camera for a little bit. She's juggling her baby James, but she
literally juggling.
She's literally juggling baby James right now. But she decided to join us today, which I always love having Kayla because she has such a wealth of knowledge to bring to us. Anyway, so thank everyone for joining us recently. I think we just wrapped up a 3-part series where we were talking about best practices for database tagging, and everything that you should be doing for both your sphere and for leads. If anyone is curious about that or missed that, check out just a little bit back in time in the Soprani Consulting Tribe. There's a few 30-minute videos in there with a ton of great information. We're moving on to another topic that's been very popular with our consulting clients, especially recently, and that's building Google Sites. You know, kind of taking some of your operations stuff and getting it into a Google site, because a lot of times we're building operations manuals in Google Drive, and then there's documents and there's folders, and navigating that stuff is maybe not quite as smooth and organic as it could be in kind of more of a web-based environment. Or like a website style based environment, and Google Sites helps provide something like that. So a lot of people are going and taking their operations and onboarding to another level by making it even more accessible, even more natural for people to go in and get the information that they need. And Google Sites provides a great environment to create something like that. We're really lucky. I'm actually incredibly lucky because this is not my area of expertise, but we've got Mike Swenson as a part of the crew. And Kayla also has a ton of experience with it, a little bit more than Jeff and I do. But they've built out Google Sites for their teams. And so I'm here to learn like the rest of everyone else is today. And Mike, thanks so much for taking the time today to join us. And I think you were going to maybe talk a little bit about just what the heck this thing is, how the heck you would go about getting it set up, and then maybe we'll transition into what you should probably have in your Google site. So, so with that, Mike Swenson, let's go.
Yeah. Thanks for having this be a topic, because it's something that I really enjoy. I started on a decent sized team that grew, and we had some people that weren't, because I kind of want to start by why would we want to do a Google site first? And at least for the team that I had, there's a lot of people, we had a lot of new agents. We had a lot of kind of technologically challenged agents that were on. And so when I came in my role as director of operations, it's how do I make things simple for people? How do we try to find stuff easily? And the feedback that I would hear from agents is, I never know where to go to find stuff. A lot of times agents were maybe more comfortable because out of habits, the old school way of accessing documents where I click on this folder, then I click on this folder, and I click on this folder. And so they feel like they have to know the folder structure to know how to get to stuff. They're not accustomed to just searching stuff, in Google Drive, or they may not really know what to search for. They can't remember the name of a document. And so these are all things that hindered people. And what I learned early on with our agents is, anytime they get hung up on something like that, they might try to figure it out for a minute or two, and then they stop. And so all these things are kind of impacting their day where they just can't find things easily. So it results in not being able to figure out what tags I need to use in my database or where to go to report my numbers. And so if you're a newer agent or a technologically challenged agent, like these are things that impact your day, which means it's less time lead generating, less time focusing on your clients and servicing your clients. And so my job is really to try to eliminate as many barriers as possible. And so I found that a good Google site will help to do that, because now they don't have to figure out where to go. Now, if you have a pretty intense Google site, there's still a lot of things that you can click on. They still can get lost a little bit, but that's kind of the goal here, is we want to make things as easy as possible. And then even to it, I would suggest is sometimes people don't know how to find the Google site or find the internet. So we did a vanity URL that just pointed to our Google site. So it could be johnsmithteamagents.com, and you just have that website point to your Google site. And so now if I'm a new agent, or if I'm like, gosh, I can't remember the name, you really only have to remember what's that vanity URL that I need to go to.